Hey everybody,
Hey,
it's Bill, and I've got my friend TJ with us today. He's going to show us his strategy from beginning to end. Take it away.
hey everybody. Okay. People say, what do you do? Okay, well, like this is the beginning of a day for me. You can see it here. I got it circled, this little star. Okay, these little stars to me, when they explode out like this and have a large explosion going out one end with a little explosion coming out the other end, seem to indicate to me that some reason there's going to be an explosion in the market and it's going to be volatile to where it's going to be going up or down. It's just going to be moving enough to where I can make some money for the day. So when I come in, first thing I see a star like this day, I wrote first thing, good long scalping day. And here's where I start watching. Now, these rules aren't written in stone, okay? But when I come in and I have candlesticks that are small, oh yeah, then I definitely want to watch 3, 4, 5. I wait till I see a candlestick getting over 3/10 of a candlestick, preferably in a half a point, half a percentage point, 0.50% candlesticks. Then you're starting to look like, okay, I can scalp the 0.50 candlestick. Okay, but when I see a star like this, and as you see here, my next picture, okay, I've seen the star over here, right? And you see what happened. I predicted, here this is going to be a good scalping day. Why? Off of this one candlestick. And if you go to the next picture of the same thing, you'll see the candlestick, but you'll see the scalping turns out to be real good. I find my candlestick like such. And then when I find these candlesticks, and that tells me, okay, the next thing tells me it's going to be a good scalping day, okay? Then here's a great opportunity, okay? When I see a candlestick like this, what does this tell me? This tells me it's going to be a good scalping day. Now, I've seen this, and between this point, there's 45 minutes you'll see here in candlesticks, because usually this is good where I wrote good scalping. That's probably where I just got out of bed. I came, I seen it. Oh, I'm excited. I got to go take care of my roommate first, get him dressed and everything. So I do all that. I come back. I start watching here, okay? But then you go into it and you predicted a good scalping day. And look, you get a 3.41%. Man, this is like right out the door. Soon as I see one of these, generally speaking, you start getting a large shift in the market, which here you go back to this video, this picture, you'll see, wham, you go slamming up, boom, 3.44% down, bam, you going up. You see, I see these like this all the time. Every time I see certain candlesticks, I see certain reactions in the market. So a lot of people say to me, okay, well, how do you know? People say, okay, then what do you do? How do you know what to do when you see that? Well, for me, when I see that, I'm really knowing that my number one rule, which is watch three candlesticks get to at least 3/10 or larger. I usually throw that rule out the door now that I've been doing it for months. For you, I would suggest sticking with the rules that I put out there at first. When you come in, what you want to do, we're going to go and minimize this for a minute. I'm going to share another screen with you. Okay. Now, if you're starting off your day, you see over here, here's another, this is a total different video, snapshot, by the way. But you see, I see the one circled here in yellow. That's another sign it's going to be a good scalping day for me. Okay. But what here, I put this all happened before I even woke up, because if you see over here, I got W/U. That means waking up. So I just woke up. But what I do is I go back and I look at the stuff that happened since I just got out of bed. Okay, this just woke up. So all this to the left here is stuff that you see. This happened while I was sleeping. Okay, but what do I see? I see one of my favorite stars, which is indicating I'm going to have a good day. So I'm waking up here. So what do? I first draw, you see the yellow line here. This is my resistance. This is my support line. Okay, I come in and draw this. Now, when I was doing this, I would draw all the lines out. Now I'm using the
Parallel channel.
parallel channels to help me draw those lines instantly so I don't have to do it. Now, since another thing I've changed, I always want to make sure whatever my channel is, that I know where 0.31% is from top to middle and bottom to middle. So I know if the candlestick's at the top, I know how far down I got to come before that candlestick's going to qualify as one of my three to start scalping for the day. So now I'm using the parallel channel. I draw it out at what? I go 6.2, 0.62%, because that's automatically giving you your 3.1 channel, see? And then according to the present candle wicks, I may actually make it larger. It may be shooting half point percentage point candlesticks at that time. Well, then you know you're already in, your candlesticks are already big enough to scalp. You already know right then. If you see a bunch of half points, well, oh wow, that's great. All of a sudden, I put my parallel channel in there, and I draw my lines anyway, so I know where the center is, coming from the top, going from the bottom, because you know how it fluctuates up and down. So here, I started watching. I got 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got really nothing good. Okay, so these three here are telling me, okay, this is nothing too good. The next one came out. It's okay. The next one came out. Next one came out. Okay, these three here would indicate, okay, well, let's give it a shot for me. Okay, and I would have jumped in on this red one here, wrote it down. And it probably came out because all the way from this point over here, you got to take this point out. So probably from here down, might have been about 0.80%, which is a good. You put $1,000 out there, and you're at 60x leverage, and you got 0.80% profit on that trade by the time you get out. You multiply it times your 60x leverage. It's a good little scalp. It's not, you're not making millions, but you're making money, you know.
Yeah.
And then I would have jumped in on this one here. Just as soon as the wick formed out, I would instantly close the red trade out and instantly jumped right in on the green wick. Same amount of money, same leverage. Everything's left the same. I never changed that ever. It's always the same. So I would have gotten this trade. Then I would have rolled this and rolled this up. And it didn't make a lot of money, but I still got some cheese to play with. And I would have gone ahead as soon as this red wick came out, jumped into it on the red wick next. Okay, this is something I do every morning. Every morning I draw my resistance line. I draw my support line. I like coming in and measuring exactly what from the top to the bottom is, so I know what percentage mark I'm working with. Now, that gives me an idea what candlestick size, like this red one right here in the middle. If you're seeing this size candlesticks all the way down, you know you're golden. But I just started watching at this one. I don't know if it's beginner in, but the next one came out this, next one came out this. This told me don't jump in right now, okay? So that's a don't jump in scenario. Okay, I'm going to go and try to show you next some scenarios where it's screaming, please jump in, you're going to make money today. So we're going to try to give you some of that next. So give me a second, and I'm going to go find you other videos to continue this. Okay, guys, here's another video of a different day. Okay, I save all these snapshots. Okay, another thing I do, I save everything when I'm going in. When I start doing it, another good thing you can do. Okay, when you start practicing this, number one, I should have said at the beginning of all of this is, if you pick up enough to turn light bulbs on to where you say, hey, I think I could do some of this, do not try this for real with real money. Go into mock trading and start with mock trading first. Okay, this is so important, and you'll see later in the questions where I answer the questions I wrote, wax on, wax off, repetition, repetition, repetition. That guy taught the dude in the Karate Kid, he waxing on, waxing off. He didn't understand what he's doing. What I'm asking you to do is, if you're going to become a scalper, I had to sharpen my skills physically before mentally could do anything. Because when I was going into scalp, I was like, what? I was hesitating and stumbling and stuttering all through the scalp, but I was doing it on mock trading, so it didn't hurt me. So what I did was I think they gave me $500 in mock trading tips or whatever. Well, when I got up to 10 grand, I figured, well, you know what? And that wasn't but like a week into it. I said, well, I think I can do this maybe for real. Then I went and do it. Now, what I want you to understand is what you're doing when you're coming in. Okay, I start watching over here. So start watching scalping here at 5:30 a.m. Okay, rule one, coming in cold, always make sure you see 3 good candlesticks. So here you see 3 good candlesticks. All 3 of them came out great. They were more than efficient. This is one when I was still just beginning scalping, okay? And I was sticking to my first rules, and I wrote them down here. Always make sure 3 candlesticks measured 0.3 and 0.3% or better. Okay, and here you have 3 that came out perfect. So what did I do? I jumped right in. I see a red wick coming out here. I jumped in instantly, no hesitation. I put $1,000 up there. I said, I'm going in on this one. Like I posted up there. Risk is what you pay to have opportunity. So here I see a red wick. I'm willing to risk it. Why? Because I'm hoping opportunity is coming, but I won't know unless I'm out there. If you're not playing, you can't win. If you're not paying, you can't play. So I'm in on the red wick. I follow the red wick. Oh, got lucky. The next wick came out. Oh, it's red. I'm staying in. The next wick came out. Oh, it's red. I'm staying in. So I stood in for a profit of 2.23% times 60x leverage. So y'all do the math right there by yourself. Add it up. You're seeing this can become a very profitable day, even though if you're on the 1 hour candlestick, this candlestick for 1 hour may not even be red. It may be show all green, you know. I don't know, but I know this much. On the 15-minute channel, you get a lot of opportunities that you see red, green, red, green, red, green opportunities, and the opportunity changes every candle wick. So what I mean by that? Okay, so I got in here on this candle wick here. Okay, it's going up. You see it went up here high, right? To the tip of the candle wick, means that eventually it had achieved this point here. Then it starts shrinking away. And I said, okay, let's see what's going to happen. I watch it come down, but as soon as I see a red wick over here on my second 15 minutes, because why did I stay in? Okay, a lot of people say, okay, you see your profit shrinking away. Why did I stay in? Because of these 3 wicks over here telling me it's going to be profitable. Even though this shrunk down, it's probably down to like a 1.3, 1.75 candlestick. Okay, I didn't shrunk away and say, oh, jump out, I'm losing my money and panic. You can't let emotion drive you on scalping. You have to put your money in and you ride the horse to the end of the race. The end of the race is 15 minutes. So, okay, I'm in. Another step I do. So as soon as I jumped in on this first candle wick, I instantly go down to stop loss, put me a 5% stop loss in. It's automatic first step I do. I was asked, what do you say you take profit at? There is no take profit. The take profit is your finger pushing that mouse and getting you out of the trade. That's where you take your profit. So you are the take profit button. And so I watched this here. These 3 candlesticks told me, I seen it go up great. I said, oh, wow, this is going to be a good one. See, I got almost probably 0.45 candlesticks, and I started watching it shrink down that day. And I was thinking to myself, oh, don't panic. Okay, you can't let emotion rule you. You watch for the next candle wick. Now, this could have gone all the way down to nothing, and this next wick could be green. And yes, I would have lost money on that trade. But these 3 candlesticks tell me it's not going to be that kind of a day. These 3 candlesticks are telling me, no, TeeJay, sit back and watch. You're going to make money. The next wick did come out red. I followed it through. The next wick came out red. I followed it through. The next wick started forming, which is just, if you look above my little arrow right now, see this arrow here? I'm going to put it right up there. And when When it gets to this point, my 15 minutes, I got my magnifying glasses on like this, and I'm sitting here staring, and I watch that wick start to form. And sometimes it'll form red because the previous color was red. But then you'll start watching it, and it starts transforming green. Now, that's before any part of the candlestick actually forms. It's within like the first 45 seconds of the new wick forming does the color it will generally, if it's going to change in that way, it starts changing in that first 45 seconds. So before that takes about a minute before you start seeing a little line for the candlestick forming, because the wick forms first. So I see instantly a green wick. Boom. What's that tell me? I instantly closed out this trade. And as I got out, and this is the new one, I'm instantly entering in this one. I start scalping this one next. Okay, so I got a green wick, I'm riding it. I got a second green wick comes out next. Good. So if you look here, back up one more thing for y'all. Okay, look here, I got 2.23 times 60x letters. Okay, what did I got? I got cheese. I got cheese to play with. In other words, I got OP money to play with, other people money. So I already got me a whole bunch of OP money, cheese as we call it in poker world, money to play with. So I'm willing to gamble it now. Now I'm feeling bold. Why? Because I got profit in my pocket. I started right out the door on this day, boom, with a good chunk of change. So I was very happy with that. So now, yes, you say, okay, this one went up big and it came down small. That's okay. But these candlesticks and the present, if you go back and look here, you can't be adjusted by scalping. You cannot be afraid of watching. And I did. I watched this candlestick go all the way up to the top of this wick and start coming back. I'm chilled. Why? Because all the actions so far to this point are positive for me. Now, it does not mean that this could not have gone down to a little cow patty, as I call them, which is the finest little thin line, as thin a line as the wicks going across, it's looking like a crucifix saying, hey, you're dead on this trade. Okay? Now, I see that all the time. And I go through that experience all the time. Do I let it affect me? No. When I have a day, a pattern telling me it's good, I'm going to make money, I have cheese. So this one ended up, the two green candle wicks together came out to 0.36. Okay, what happened? I'm above my 0.31%. So I'm making money. $310 on $1,000 isn't too bad of a trade. So you're making money, right? So next wick comes out, it's red. I instantly shut my green trade. I'm in on the red, going short now instead of long. Because why? Because the wick came out red. I'm automatically in on a short red. This is what I do. And my brain, because of the autism, I think, I'm calculating 100 different projects in my head at one time, and I'm coming up with all the answers, and it's shuffling them, categorizing them in alphabetical order, as you say, in my brain, and I'm knowing what to do next. So I'm trying to break. It's hard for me to take everything's going so fast up here down, and this is as elementary as I can break it for you guys. So my next wick came out green. Okay, look at this wick. This candlestick, I mean. It ended up being a great candlestick. So now, this candlestick right here, even though I didn't make it go back now, but back up a little bit, this candle wick came out real great right here, right? This candle wick is a whole lot bigger than my little 0.36, where a lot of people say, oh, the candlesticks are getting smaller. I'm getting out. You cannot panic and get out, and it's a scalper. Scalper, you got to have a gambler's heart, and I'm a professional poker player, so it's not hard for me to throw it in there and say, let's go for it. Why? Because I already made a big trade here, okay? This big trade right here gave me cheese to play all day, plus my partners put money in, so I play with their money, and they've given me full leash to go and do what I need to do. But in this, I guess I can say I don't have fear in trading. You can't be fearful here. This candle wick came out, which made up for these little ones that you might be as a new scalper. Oh, I'm scared. That's fear. That comes with it. That's why I say go to mock trading. Do this over and over. Once you turn $500 into 10 grand, scalping with play money If you can build 5 grand like I did into 10 grand, you're ready to start scalping. You got it. Now all you got to do is go do it for real. And while you're doing it for real, you'll sharpen your edge on your sword. You'll sharpen by using all the different tools out there. And I'm finding new tools and new tools every day. I'm adding into my scalping to help me be a better scalper. So here I've got this great candlestick. The next one came out green. Next one came out green. Next one came out green. You see up here, I got, 2.34%. Wow, what happened? Now I got 2 great trades in already at 60x leverage. Okay, now I'm ready to go. I don't care what comes at me. I'm willing to gamble. Now I'm willing to gamble a little bit. So next one comes out red. I'm automatically going red. I don't care if it ends up being a cow pay. It don't matter. I got cheese. I got other people's money I'm playing with. I'm in. The next one came out green. I'm in. I switch out of my scalping trade of red. I'm instantly in. Now, okay, at every 14 minutes, and to the right, while you're in the trade of scalping, there's a little clock counting down, you see, letting you know when that 15-minute candlestick's coming to the 14-minute period. So I'm letting it play. I got to run a bathroom. I run out of bathroom. I'm not sweating it. I've already got profit in there. I've got confidence that because of my 3 candlesticks and because of my 2 big trades of the day, I'm confident there's going to be more money on the bone. I don't like leaving any meat on the bone. I want to take everything I can, and I wait for a good warning sign. In other words, getting smacked in the face and taking my money is the warning sign. Get out because you're losing, you know. And that hasn't happened to this point, so I'm staying in. So I get in the red, boom. It ends up being a 0.48, as you see, percent. It still ended up being a good candlestick. And before it changed total direction, which is red. And now all of this happens. This is what I call a good scalping day. Okay? So now I see the green one. Oh, green, 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 green. I'm in. All the way to the top, I'm red. Okay. These all came from what I showed you in the beginning of this video, that one candle wick exploding out with a little top. And boy, it was exploding. When I see an explosion like that, I don't know what it is. It could be the cash inflow. It could be cash coming out, yanking people out, money in and out. But that little candle wick is a sign that something has happened in the market, and you have the opportunity to take advantage of that star. When you see that star, it means if you learn scalping, you've got a day to make some good money in just a few hours. Now, if we go back, I started at 5:30 a.m. And if you go down here, my day stopped around right at 10:45 a.m., 11 a.m. it looks like my day ended up stopping. So I worked from 5:30 to, it looks like 11 a.m. Okay, I rolled this up, all the green, I got in. The wick came out red. I said, I'm getting in. Now, this candle wick did nothing for me. I lost money. Okay, I didn't even come out of it with my, did not achieve my 0.3% at all. I lost money. That's smacking me in my face saying, okay, hold on, put the brakes on. Don't throw away all this money you made right here. You just made money all these hours. Don't get greedy. When I didn't even achieve, I don't think that even achieved a 0.1% of a percent. I don't think I even achieved a 1/10% on that one, like a 0.09%. 0.09 is what it ended up thinking, if I recall right. So it wasn't even a 1/10%. That's a smack in the face. Hey, stop. Don't get greedy. Everything's been going great. But if you keep going the rest of the day, you're going to lose your money. And I got out. I stopped. And if you go look at the rest of these candle wicks, they were so erratic and they were smaller and smaller. And if you went through, I don't have a video for the rest of the day on that one, but if you, snapshot, but if you did, it went into a price channel. Okay. And the price channel locks it in what I call a dead zone price channel. When they lock in there, that's when I come up and I start drawing my lines again. The lines that you drew in the beginning of the day, your support and your resistance, putting them in. And later at the end of this video, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a live one with you with the live market, what's going on, and I can give you a better illustration of exactly what to do step by step on this.
Yay.
But if you do this, I'm giving you to you here in black and white so you can see it. Bill's going to make the video. So take these as tools, step 1, step 2 tools, step 3 tools, step 4 tools. I got 7 steps of tools for you today. We're going to give you step-by-step action what to do.
Right on.
So if you do this, there's no reason you can't be doing what I'm doing and pulling in cash scalping the way I do. Okay, guys. Now I told you I want to go to another video, another snapshot for you. Okay. Now this is what I call a trifecta day. Okay. Because the candlestick I like, that's telling me I'm going to have a good day when I see one great explosion candlestick. Is this on the screen right now, Bill?
Yep, I see.
Okay, you see the one I got here circled, the green one?
Yes.
When I see one, man, I know I'm in for at least an hour, maybe 2 hours, sometimes 5 or 6 hours of good scalping. But God help me when I see 1, 2, 3 great candle wicks explode, like, woo! I put my seatbelt on my chair because I'm ready for the bumpy ride because I get all excited. My blood pressure's ready. I say, woo! This is a money day, money day, money day. Boom, throw them dice out. Here comes the 7. Okay, here it is. I done said this is going to be a good scalping day. Why? Because I got my trifecta here, right? Now, check this out. This is going to blow your mind. Okay, this is look at 5 a.m. in the morning, correct?
Okay.
I'm looking at, wow, I'm jumping in. I go pee all night long, every 2 hours. So this, I got up and I seen this. I didn't go back to bed. I was up for the rest of this. Now, this is what happens, guys. Check this out. Now, check this out. Woo! Okay. This is where I came in and I said, wow, it's going to be a good scalping day. Now, this is shrunk down a little bit smaller for you so I could do and show you all of it. I had to shrink it into a screen, right? Okay, when I saw the good scalping day, what did I do? If you see here this yellow line, you see this yellow line, I put in my support. I put in my resistance. I would do it backwards. I put in my resistance. I put in my support. Okay, you see this is my resistance line. This is my support line. Okay, I drew it off of the top of this exploding star red top. I put it off the bottom of this exploding line here, bottom, right? Okay, that's where I just drew in my parallel channel. But this here is telling me, dude, you're getting ready for a good trade. When I saw those, okay, for me, I would not suggest this for you. Anybody just starting off, do not do this. Okay, but for me, I just threw the money out there as soon as I start getting in, which was my first trade. I had no candle wicks you see here, no wicks here measured 3.10, right? But you see the number 1 up here. This is where I jumped in. I says, I'm going in no matter what. I did. I jumped in cold. Why? Because these candlesticks tell me it's going to be a good day. Now, these are little period. Now, these are nerve-wracking scalping here. You get into these, you have to be watching the wick instantly. And to me, it's like a video game, like, you know, Pong. When we started video games when we were kids, it was Pong. You watch the ball bounce across the screen. Okay, that's how fast, and we did it on the fastest speed, me and my brothers and sisters. We didn't want that little grand mal speed. We did it fast. This is a very fast scalping day I had here. Okay, I got into step 1. Okay, I see this one drawing. I seen the wick coming out, and the wick came out green. I have no idea, because this is not telling me I'm going to have a good scalping day. What's telling me I'm going to have a good scalping day is the explosion wicks. When these wicks blow out from top to bottom, it's telling me for some reason that wick blew out that way. You see it start swelling. Okay, what happened is the candlesticks start going like this. It went up, right? But it's like it had a blowout, like a flat tire. And the air came out. And then you see the long wick sitting in there, and you got a flat tire. Okay, what happened? Something happened in the market, either cash infusion in or out, something to make that star just explode right in the middle of it. Something happened in the market itself. But that something happening usually tells me you're going to have an erratic day in the 15-minute channel. So I automatically don't care. On this day, I do not stick by my rule 1, which is always see 3 candlesticks 0.30 or larger to get in. Okay, why? Because I already seen trifecta of my stars. Therefore, I jumped in this green candlestick. I jumped into this one here. I was in. I said, I don't care. I'm in. Okay, it ended up only being 0.35, but it was money. The next one was a loser. But because of my 3 trifecta and my gambling personality, between here, this red arrow here, top here, to the bottom, you see this next candle wick? Now, this one, this candlestick's an important candlestick. Even though I lost money on this one, you see what happened? Now, these I love, but this one blew out even further. You see it went taller, went longer, but when it blew out, it went down to what I call a little line, which is I call a loser line. Usually, I'm out right there. I call it a day. But not with 3 trifectas, neutron stars that I call winning stars, did I get out? No, I didn't. I got all the cheese from previous days. I said, no, I got a feeling I don't see those stars, let alone 3 of them in the same day, and just in the same hour. You got 3. I said, no. And this one here exploded out. I said, okay, this is telling me something good is coming. So I just stood in and I went, and this one rose up probably to like 0.40, the first candlestick, and you see it shrunk down again, but almost giving me another neutron star to tell me positive things. So I'm staying in anyway because I see the wicks coming green. I'm in. Ends up getting this one at, I think it was like 28. Yeah, 0.28% came out. Okay, it's not big money, and you got to pay fees, and you got to pay transaction fees, and that. So you're not making big money, but you making consistently. Okay. Now here I went in on the red one. I did the same thing. I went in again. These are trades that I keep going in because of my 3 stars. I did not get out. People say, well, why didn't you get out? They're below your 0. All because I trusting my prediction on the reaction that I've charted for over 2 months every time I see these stars over here. This is why I'm staying hard in. I got plenty of cheese. I got plenty of other people's money. If you only got $100, I would not suggest getting in this style of scalping because this is nose bleeding scalping. This here is, I'm determined, I don't care how many knocks I get because of the 3 stars, I was staying in for it, and I did. And then I ended up getting here I made a little bit money back. Here I ended up getting nothing. Here I ended up going up to 0.36, which was a great one. The next one I got in on the red, it came back down. Oh, wait a minute, I take it back. Okay. Yeah, anyways, okay, my numbers may be wrong there. But anyways, as you can see, 5 came in to be a good scalp for me. 6 came in to be a good scalp. 7 came in to be a good scalp. 8 came in to be a good scalp. Now, they're not real big money, but I'm making, now understand, I have this chart so blown up that if you were looking at it on the regular, just the way the chart comes at the original set, you're going to see candlesticks like this. You can say, there's no money there, TeeJay. And that's the thing. That's where they hide the money. They hide the money to make 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in the smallest amount of margin. For me, at least, that's where I find I made money. I went in this week and I did a long trade, and I did it with a friend of mine, and I tried to teach him while doing a trade. Don't do it. Take my advice. It cost me a lot of money. I made a mistake. I let his emotions drag over to me into a trade that I had thought out for a whole month, knew was coming, charted it, even put myself in at a 98% stop loss. I cannot lose until it hits 98% of my money. I was in, and I let somebody else's emotions take over me. This is what this is. This is an emotional roller coaster. And I would suggest doing this in mock trading and do it over and over and over. And you're going to lose. But that's okay. One day you're going to start seeing, wait a minute, I'm winning. Wait a minute, I'm winning. Why? because you're going to let that fear go of losing. And if you get rid of that fear, then you can do like me. I wrote that one. I wrote that one. I wrote this one. I wrote that one. They're half a point. So 1%, you take the half a point, multiply it times 60 leverage. You end up making some good money. You see, so it can be a very good thing. For me, I knew I was going to make money. Now I made 10 good trades here. 10 trades. No, I think one of the 10 trades was a lose. Yeah, I had a bad trade over here, a loser trade. So I got 9 out of 10. So 9 out of 10 of these, I made money above what? Above my transition fee, above the fee to get in and get out fee, and their percentage fee. I made money above. Now, do I know what I made that day? No, I never do. Kenny Rogers says it the best. Don't count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be plenty of time to count it later. So I do all this. And I've set me up a new rule now. I don't even look at my money. I don't even want to know what's in my account. I go every 15 days. Unless I'm having massive losing, now I'd have to lose 20 grand in a day to stop, put me in a halt. And I'm not going to do that. But I have stop losses in position to stop that. But it's like, I decided now if I don't, the people I'm investing with want to know something. So we decided twice a month, every 15 days, I'll go and tally everything up and see what we had 15 days prior and what we got 15 days later. This is what I do. So this will not, when you're in this kind of trade, you cannot be worrying about what you're investing. You have to be able to scalp unemotional. And if you do that, and it's just fine tuning scalping here. But if you do it the way I'm doing it, because these candlesticks are just little things. If you look at them I blow them up so I can see them without my glasses. But it makes money. It makes money. This day wasn't big money like I did one day. I got a whole Bitcoin one day. This is nothing like that day. The day I was doing that, I was getting 2.33 and above percentage marks, and up. I think one of them for the day was 7 point something, 60, I think it was, times 60x leverage. So yeah, it was a good day, and I was risking a lot of money. But anyways, okay, this is what I can share with you. Let me find the next video and we'll do some more. Give me a minute.
Awesome. That was a good one.
Hey, y'all, I'm going to leave my two brothers here to watch you guys. Okay? They're watching you. Don't touch my chips, okay? I'll be back. All right, everybody. My skills are getting sharper by the day. I'm now being able to, because of candlesticks and certain candlesticks sending me messages by seeing the shape they are, what happens from the same candle wick over and over and over. I'm being able to learn to predict things that are coming. Now, when we were coming into that end of that 200-day apex that everybody in class was teaching us about, and I was just coming into class in that month or two at that time, and we were coming to the end of the 200 days. Okay, I was taking everything in. My brain takes it and files and processes it, and it makes sense up here. Nothing makes sense to me unless I verbally speak it out, and then I instantly have the correct answer every time. Phi Beta Kappa in college, because they found out I had a disability, I had to read it out loud. If I read it out loud, I not only came up with the answer, but I came up with every possible answer and wrote those down too for the question. If there were 4 different answers, they were all written out on that one question. At that point, Phi Beta Kappa came and invited me to join them. So this here is what I try to do. I guess I'm a perfectionist. So I'm sharpening my skill on prediction. So we're going to go into here. And if you start using the candle wicks, if you start scalping like I do every day, and you start studying the candlesticks, you'll start seeing patterns. I actually start seeing a change in the market the closer we got to the apex. I start seeing almost a geometric pattern. And if you're looking at this screen, you're seeing here where this hit here, you see the top here, you see the bottom here, you see another top here, you see another bottom. Okay, but if you're looking, you're seeing a piece of a pie. You're seeing you're bouncing within, you see this? So I put this in here. You're bouncing within the pie shape. You see what I'm saying? You're getting a geometric action because we were coming into the pie shape of the 200-day. And I was starting to notice, wait a minute. That's when I drew this blue line. You see this? This is called the, what do you call that? Parallel?
That's a parallel channel, yeah.
Parallel channel. So I took and drew me out a parallel channel because I started noticing, wait a minute, I know where this is going. And so what I did at this point of the day was, I see this, I said, oh, hold on, I know exactly what's going on for the next day. This is what's going to happen. Then I start drawing, you see these arrows, and I wrote on here my prediction. I'm bouncing off major resistance up here. 64K was major resistance back then. And if you see, we were penetrating it, but we weren't staying up, nothing. We were bouncing back in, in other words, being sucked back into the I forget the word that Nico uses, but it's in that rainbow chart where you get sucked back down into it.
Oh, the Gaussian channel.
The Gaussian channel. See, we're getting sucked back down into that Gaussian channel, I think. Now, to me, it's like the vortex. It's like coming on a black hole. And the gravity would suck you, pull you right into it. It's so strong there. Okay, this is what my brain relates to everything by all the things that I've interacted in my whole life. And I use even Star Trek. I use everything that I've ever encountered in my brain. It sorts things out and it explains it, not in English, but in all these, like here, I've seen a geometric pattern. I've seen bing, 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 bing. Now I see the vortex pulling me down. Oh, I know what's going on. I drew my arrows, okay? Here you go. TeeJay, how do you see this? Just watching and studying every single action. For every action, there's a reaction. For every reaction, there's a new action to be formed. And I'm watching us bounce. And when I blew, okay, now I drew this line out here off of these two, can't see these two candle wicks here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's when I brought my, these weren't even here yet. I drew my line down because I said, we're coming into that apex. Isn't that what they called it?
Yeah.
Yeah, apex. And so I drew it down, and sure enough, if we didn't just, we hit it, but we're doing that. At this point here, I knew without a shadow of a doubt what was coming, and Nico would be very proud to say, hey, his kid, TeeJay, young TeeJay, renegade, crypto renegade, I'm proud of him because he's learning. See, Nico makes trades and he predicts them to, I've done some of his trades. I'm talking about $200 after he told us to put the stop loss. Boom, if it didn't suck up and it sucked up into one of these candles here, I'm circling now. So it was down here, it was a big candle and it was forming, it's coming down. And then all of a sudden it's $200 past where he told us to put our stop loss. It shrunk back up. This is one of those perfect Zen days where I was able to do one on my own. And if you have one of these, once you have one of these, it's so important to get to this point because once you achieve this point of Zen in the market, your confidence won't be shook on anything you do forward, I think. So let me show you what happened next. Okay, hold on, let me find it. I'm going the wrong way, I guess. Okay, now check this out. Okay, this here, now if you look, okay, we were back up here, okay?
Yep.
Now, where I drew this first two arrows, there were none of these candle wicks, right? But everything I drew out, even here, I predicted to go over. But if you'll look, I drew my, okay, another important thing to look at. I don't know. Let me go back to the other video real quick. Okay, look at something. I want you to see something. I'm skipping over an important step here. In my mind, I knew where to put my resistance, my support, which this support turned into resistance. Then this turns into support. This turned into support. This turned into resistance. As you see, I drew in all my support and resistance all the way down on the first page, correct?
Yes.
Now I blew it up bigger for everybody to see when I was doing it and taking a picture. Now you see I wrote apex wall, apex wall, apex wall. This is where the apex was coming down to a final point, okay? But if you go back and look at my prediction, I predicted over here that this was going to go this way and this was going this way, and there was nothing. Now it did exactly like I said here. I predicted over. Now it went a little bit up and a little bit up at the top of the up here, but it could not bust over this resistance. It hit the resistance, held for a second, and this all within a 30-minute period, it faded back down into this channel. You see, I predicted all this to happen this way. Now I had predicted it just to stay down here. This went a little bit up and a little awry, but in all of it, if you'll notice, this one candle wick, this one 15-minute candle wick brought everything my brain was seeing it going straight across here. It was going to come down. Now I had made me a long trade for that day, you know, so I had predicted to take profit down here. Okay, so I had predicted this trade. It went and it came, and then all of a sudden this one candle wick brought me back where I had predicted it was going to come to at this crossroads here anyways for the day, and I predicted it was going to come down this channel here, and it was going to come here, and I was going to take my profit. I hit the profit, which was this candle wick here on the end of my short. Now, I hit it right about the tail of this red candle, this red arrow, I mean. Yeah. At this end of here is where I had set my take profit, okay? And it hit that take profit, took me out. Now, it did come down into the next channel, though, but it slingshotted back up a little further down than I thought it was going to go. But it was like one of those $200 difference in the market that Nico does. So I was so proud of myself because I was dancing because, oh my God, it came out exactly right on 100%. So studying the candlesticks for me works. And if I can show you shortcuts to doing this, then I will. And I want to show you how I'm using this parallel lines here. I'll show you that in a live here next. But see, if you work on your skills of seeing and studying, I think everybody should be able to see this. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the only one. Maybe I truly am the Rain Man of crypto and only seeing this my way, as Nico says. But man, it's like, to me, it's like a neon sign saying, hey, dummy, get out, or hey, get in here. It's going to be a good day. They literally tell me this every day when I get up. Within 45 minutes to an hour of watching 3 to 4 candlesticks, I know if I'm trading today or I know if I'm going to go do other things. And you see here, I predicted here, none of this existed. But when you go in and you go watch the pattern I had drawn out for the day, and I hit my profit perfectly, these come to me because I understood all my surroundings of what was going on in the market at the time. I understood we had an apex going here. I understood the apex this is my resistance on the apex. I understood my support, which is the red line down here at 62,594.6 was my floor of the apex, according to what I could best estimate off of Nico's drawings. So I had put my support and my resistance of my apex in there. And as you see, I drew it all in. But when I drew it in, there was nothing there. You see what I'm saying? Here's my red line down here. This is my support floor. Here is my apex. And when I put it all together and gave you all a better glance at exactly what came out, it was because I was looking at everything around me. I was understanding where the pressure points were coming, where we were hitting super, super major resistance was, and the reason I put the apex wall so thick and illustrated that thick was because we not only have to see these little candle wicks like these long ones here, they not only have to come through here, they have to go through now inside of this channel here, okay, which I'll show you in a live part next. You come through and you have to penetrate the first wall. You have to penetrate the center wall, and you have to penetrate the exterior wall. There's a lot of resistance between these three walls in my mind is what I see. So I knew the odds were we were never going to come through the apex wall here. I never had one thing to tell you I predicted anything here. I predicted it was going to keep coming down to where? To the apex floor. And I left the arrow here, and I put these down here too. I did not know it because sometimes they bounce out. But my prediction at the end of the day on this picture here is to tell you it's going to go shooting in this direction. And as you watch the apex, which I sat up for 48 hours nonstop because I was expecting, woo, oh, the angels were going to come out and sing, and we were going to make all this big money and a big move in the market. And it fizzled. It did nothing. But it did do one thing. It did exactly what my last arrow of this prediction predicted for the end of the apex. It was coming out in a fizzling line. It did. I didn't expect it to come out fizzling. I expected it to come out right at the edge of the point, hit in the edge of the point and come out. And it did. When it came out, it was just a fizzle little line. There was nothing. I think it was like 72 hours later, maybe, it started doing something. But a week later, we got a good trade after a week after it. But it was like nothing. It just went, and I was expecting so much more. But all of this was predicted as, in my mind, back here at this point here where I predicted, and down here in this right corner, you'll see my line going there. And that's where it ended up being the fizzle out. So studying and this, and hopefully I was able to give you some insight to how and what I see. Okay, I'm going to go to the questionnaire next that you asked me.
Okay.
I went and revised everything because I went and reread it and I said, bullshit, I don't agree with none of that. So I had to redo it. So, because every week I learn so much more every 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, what I learned a month ago is, what do you call that? When a phone, it's obsolete. Okay, what I learned a week ago, a month ago, is definitely obsolete to me trading today. So this is an ongoing thing I'm going to keep doing nonstop, 7 days a week, the rest of my life. And hopefully every week I can add a whole bunch more learning for the class to see and learn what I'm seeing, the way I'm seeing it. Because if I keep sharpening my tools, I can sharpen everyone else's tools in class. And that's my whole goal here, is pay it forward.
Amen.
So, all right, everybody, this is a picture of my laptop screen. I have this on my laptop screen, and as I turn on my laptop, the first thing I see every day is risk is what you pay for opportunity. Don't be scared to risk it. This is the first thing, conditioning of my mind. When I see it, I not only read it, but because of my handicap, I have to read out loud to hear it. And then once my brain hears it, I know answers to it. So everything I do out loud like I'm talking to myself. And I would suggest this is a good thing to put on your screen when your computer that you're trading on every day, and put this out there because it's a good thought to open your mind and start the day off zen free. Let all your wins and losses from the days before go, because they don't matter. What matters is right now. What are you going to make today? So first thing, I turn on my computer and I say, risk is what you pay for opportunity. Don't be scared to risk it. Now I'm ready to go forward and try doing whatever scalping I am going to do for the day. So that's just what I like to share with the class. Okay, welcome to Bill and Ted's Great Adventure. Here's Bill and Ted, okay? We're going to take you out of this planet, okay? Hopefully we can take you and take your way of thinking outside of this planet. Okay, I was given some questions from Bill. He emailed them to me. I typed them up on Microsoft Word here for you. So I'm going to go over them. Let's start from the beginning. Question 1 says, how do you determine where to put your stop loss and take profit? Number 1, I automatically, no matter what trade I get in anywhere, I'm always setting a 5% stop loss, because 99% of the time, once I'm either long trade or a scalping trade, I eventually changing my take profit, especially if I'm scalping and going 2-3 candlesticks in the same direction. Well, I'm moving I don't want no 5% stop loss no longer. I'm moving my stop loss up into the trade, into the profit, all while watching the scalp. I don't like leaving one piece of meat on the bone. I want that bone clean to the best of every penny I can get out of it. So while I'm in it, I instantly first do 5% stop loss. Now, and the next question was, do you set a take profit while scalping? Not while scalping, I never set a take profit, because I am the take profit. Because what I never set a TP, a take profit while scalping, because I take profit when I decide it's time to. I never take my eyes off the trade while I'm trading. For me, I turn off all distractions while scalping, TV, music, close the doors, so I can focus on nothing but this trade. Now, the take profit part. Okay, now understand, when you go and open a trade, a scalping trade, in the bottom right corner, which I'll show you in a live video next after this, as I open a trade, I go right down to the market button, open the market button, and this box is going to appear on the screen. And that doggone box, you can't move right, left, nothing. It's stuck wherever it appears. So I always make sure the active trade I'm in is to the right of that box that's going to open up. And I have my mouse directly on close trade. So I don't have to go one down there and click on market, two go over here and click the secondary button. In those 2 seconds, you can lose valuable dollars. Especially if you're like me with the Parkinson shake. The Parkinson shake will give you, and sometimes it can be 5-10 seconds for me. So I always make sure I have my mouse on there. I'm watching it. I'm paying attention to it with no distraction. This is so important. Always set you up a 5% stop loss. Don't worry about your take profit, because your finger is the take profit button. And you want to be able to do this on mock trading over and over and over. As I'm going to say here, wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off. The Karate Kid did in the movie. He got irritated because he didn't understand, well, what's this guy got me polishing all his cars and all this? Okay, the reason I'm telling you go to mock trading is this exact same scenario. I want you to learn to put wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. What are you doing? Now, instead, you're doing it with a mouse pad, you're doing it with your eyes, and you're doing it with your brain. So the trifecta's coming in there, but now you need to be able to do it instantly like I do. My brain can calculate 3 different trades. Now I'm doing 11 different trades up to, and this week we opened the 12th count up. So we actually have 12 sub accounts now going. So I'm doing it a lot faster than you guys, but to get in here and be a profitable scalper, you got to start at the bottom, waxing the cars. So go to the mock trading, set it up, follow our instructions, what we're trying to show you in this video, and do it. What you're trying to do, first off, don't even care about how much you're winning and losing. Just jump in. Jump in and do it. Jump in and do it. Jump and do it. Why? Because what you're doing is you're moving your finger on the mouse. You're going over. You're practicing what it means. Because as soon as you close out of a trade, you have to go left to the trade. You have to use the tools to get right back in the trade. You don't want to miss out on the opportunity of the next candle with turning red. So I can do it all within about a second and a half. I'm back in, out of a trade and in a trade within 2 seconds. I can do it that quick, and I'm doing two seconds per screen. I have to go. Okay, so I do them pretty fast now, but I start off with one screen, and that's why I want you to go mock trading. Do this routine over and over to where when you see what's going on screen, your hand is actually reacting to what your eyes are seeing. Your brain's sending you a pre-thought, a thought before the thought actually forms, and your fingers actually pushing the button. That's what it does for me. It's closing and opening instantly by what I'm seeing. and my fingers are already shoving the mouse to the other side of the screen. I'm already watching the candle wick. I'm already jumping in. I'm going to my next screen because I already know this color of this wick. So now I go to my other screens and I make them all follow for the ones that are doing the scalping of the day for all my different accounts that I'm doing for my friends. So we're all in the scalp together. Sometimes the last one in the row gets a little less because I got them out last. You see what I'm saying? So that's the bad side of trading on all these different accounts. Okay. Now, question number 2. Well, it's always the same question, which is a very good question, especially if you're going to risk real money. How do you know when to get in a trade and when to get out of a trade? As you know, there is no guarantee to winning a trade. Want to put that straight out there to everybody, because I don't win them all, and I've lost a good. My losses are a whole lot bigger than most people's losses. So I try to perfect my trade to where I don't see too many of them. I'm getting pretty good at it, I guess. Anyway, so like I said, there's no guarantees on winning a trade. By being prudent and sticking to my system, I seem to be doing very well. Risk is what you pay for opportunity. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared to risk. But don't be stupid, I wrote. Start with mock trading always until you have the natural instincts to know how to react instantly to the market actions. To the market actions. Okay. I'm going to stop reading there for a second. We're going to back up to the original question. How do you know when to get in and get out? For me, I come in cold. I first do, like I showed you in the previous videos. I put waking W/U. That's waking up. I put an arrow down. That's my waking up point. Now, what does that mean, a waking up point? Waking up point, I couldn't care less what that candle I drew a stick on. The reason I drew the stick on there is so now I know where my waking up point is. Now I want to go back and see where I put going to bed, because I put going to bed on my chart from the night before. So then I go back to the chart where it says going to bed. Now I'm going to put it all on one screen and I start studying it. I start watching and seeing, first off, is there any stars out there that are indicating to me this is going to be a good scalping day, or are there a neutron star, the one I call the fat one, explodes out with equal candle with top and bottom? Those tell me it's going to be a fishing day. Don't get in. Don't waste your money. I want to see, first off, if I see any of my 2 candlesticks, okay? If I don't, say I don't see anything at this point. Okay, then I go see what the market's been doing. How steadily has it been changing? How long is it going in one direction? What's the pattern of my candlesticks? Are there 0.31 or larger? Or are they all little cow patties? All of them just little straight lines, not even 0.1% point at all. These are such things you go and study before you even go to start watching. Then I do all that as soon as I wake up. Start watching, and I'm waking up. I go and study that. Okay, then now I know I've got other routines I have to take care of before I can actually start trading. So then I go take care of my other routines, and sometimes you'll notice when I do charts and show you pictures and snapshots, my wake up point and my start watching, there could be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, because I'm a 24-hour living caregiver. I may have things to interfere with that. So that's no big deal. So then you'll see I come over here and I write S/W. Now I start watching. I put my arrow down. Now, usually why I start watching. I start watching because, number one, I come in cold. And if I have nothing positive to my left, from the time I went to bed to the time I woke up, there's nothing to get into. Now I'll call that jumping into market cold. Jumping into market cold, you don't want to just do because you can lose a lot of money quick scalping. So if I have nothing positive to get me in, then I need something positive to motivate me to get in. So then I watch 3 candlesticks, and if none of them coming out, they're all coming out little line, little line, little line, little line, for 45 minutes, still nothing. Well, I'll go ahead and watch another one, and I'll start planning to do things for the day. And I have drawn out my support. I drew out my resistance and my support lines. I measured my channel, so I know what the measurement of my channel is. And if it's all little cow patties, I now, as of today, this month, I am now doing is I'm using the tool to draw out a minimum of 0.62% channel. If they're just little patties, I do a minimum of 0.6.2 channel. Why? Because if it goes up, I'm looking for it to bounce down in that channel, and before I can get in, I don't want to watch it all day. I'm doing nothing, so I draw my channel out. I'm going to show you how to do this in the next step, and I let it go, and that way I know I got 0.31 from the top, 0.31 to the middle, and that middle line is going to tell me if any one of my candlesticks from the bottom up or the top down start crossing that center line. Oh, okay, let's start paying attention. We're starting to see candlesticks worth investing. Now, when they start crossing that line, now you want to see 3 good ones. 3 good ones usually tell you what? They tell you there's not some reason, somewhere, some money is coming into the market and the candle wicks are starting to grow. If they're growing on a 15-minute period, they're getting an infusion of funds, cash flow into the market from people buying or whatever they're doing. But you can see they're getting longer. The market's getting going. Okay, at that point, I watch the 3 candlesticks. So how do you know when to get in? You don't want to get into scalping unless you see a pattern showing you, okay, there's a potential here. Because if you start this off and you're starting off cold, brand new, I would not invest more than $100. Yeah, you're only going to make $3.10 if you get a whole 0.31%, and that means you have to be above 0.31% because you got fees, you got transactions. So you get your 310, you walk away with $100 or $90 after fees. Well, you walk away with something. You walk away with $30 on your $100. You walk away with something on your first scalp. We'll be glad. If you walk away with $1, be glad after scalping because you're just starting. I didn't care. I was glad with $1. I was glad with 50 cents. As long as I was making something, trying it, it was better than me making nothing. Over on Coinbase and crypto.com, all I could make money on was what the market was doing. Here, I sharpened my skill to make big money, but I didn't do it all in one big step. I had to start a little. Here, you just want to start a little bit. You want to know how to jump in. You have to have a solid system. For me, a solid system, I like the 15 minutes because I'm not bound to the candlestick for more than 15 minutes, even if it keeps going. And I have other things to do. I'm there to make my 15 minutes. I don't get greedy. I say going my way, but I got other things I know I got to do. I don't sit there and keep playing. I jump out. I take my profit. I come back. You cannot be pressured to stay in. You cannot be pressured to get out. When you have things to do, get in and get out and do your things. If your mind is focusing, oh, I got to do this, that's the time to get out at the end of that candlestick. Why? Because your mind is no longer focusing. It has to be 100% on the screen. Mine has to be here. If I have my door closed, I'm trading, my friend, I'm taking care. Hey, I need help. Okay, I'll be there in a second. Okay, I know that candlestick. I don't care if I'm in the money good already on it. I'll close, especially if he says he's got to go poop. I automatically close that candlestick, take my profit, and go. I don't expect to be back, and then when I come back, I have to follow my procedures unless it's a great scalping day and I got something going up. I'll leave it and keep the trade going while taking care of them. Take me 5-10 minutes to get them in and out. So if it's a great scalping day, I may just leave it going in the same direction. But if I'm fighting for every dollar on this day, it's not worth it risking $1,000 on the next candlestick if your candlestick's under a half a point. It's not worth it. If you got something to do and you start thinking of something, get out. So how do you know when to get in and get out? You want to get in when you see a pattern where you see you can actually make money. That's number one. And by studying the candlesticks 0.30 and bigger, you know you got 3/10. 3/10 times 60x leverage is what you're playing with. Okay, so that makes money for me. How do I know to get out? I know to get out. One, if something around me or my brain starts going to other thoughts or I'm starting to get distracted, get out. Because you cannot be distracted in scalping. You have to be 100% here. Number two, how do I get out if I'm not distracted? Is when the candlesticks goes into those real thin little cow patties. In other words, I call it, you get slapped by a cow patty because why? You just lost a chunk of change. That's the first sign anybody knows. Oh, wait a minute, I lost money on that candlestick. I'll make good on the last 15 candlesticks. That one I just lost big. Stop. Shut down. Take a break. Go get some air. Come back. Then come back and examine what happened in the last 3 candlesticks you were out. My favorite thing to do when I get slapped is stop for 3 candlesticks. Like I watched 3 to get in. If I just got slapped and lost a nice chunk of change on one 15-minute candlestick, I just stop. Then I go do something else, and I say, okay, that's either the beginning of a dead zone is number one, when it goes that small and stays that, is either starting a dead zone, which I call them, which, in other words, there's no money to even scalp. If there's no money to scalp, there's no money on a trade during that hour either. The whole hour, if you went to the hour candlestick, when they go to them little candles, you'll go see an hour candlestick, and it's going to be this little thin one. So you knew on the 15 minutes when that one little thin candlestick came out, and you said, oh, I lost a few bucks here, but I made my money. I'm getting out right here. Then you watch the next 3 candlesticks after the one you just lost money on, which will be 1 hour. You go watch and look up an hour later on that candlestick, and I guarantee you, usually when you got smacked in the face on one of those little cow patty candlesticks, and you look at the hour for that hour, it's usually the whole hour was crap. So you got out. How to know when to get out? When you see it going to crap. When it's no good, there's nothing. I call them cow patty. I'm not going to use the S word, but it's the cow patty. You know, it's turned to. So get out. That's common sense. So I think on this, you have to use common sense, and you also have to have the confidence and knowing when to get in and when to get out. And that only comes by going back to rule number 1 now. Go to mock trading, open an account for 500 play money chips. When you do this over and over, I'm not telling you to stop your daily scalping or daily trades and following Nico's trades. I do every trade I get from the class. I get in them automatically. I do them blindly. A couple I didn't make money on, but most of them I did. I'm doing all that too, plus I sharpened my scalping trade every day in the first month. I was in there. My finger was learning where to go. I was going choo, 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 choo. Now I know I can do it in my sleep. So always do it over and over and over. And by doing that, if you go from $500 in chips to $10,000 in chips, you won't be asking me or Bill this question: how do I know when to get in and when to get out? You'll know when to get in and when to get out. Why? Because you just programmed your brain. As you do a computer, you put software in there to program the computer with a software so you can do just what we're doing now, or do words so I can put the words on the page. That's all by programming into a software and then introducing it into the hard drive, and now it's up on my screen. Okay, what you're doing is you're programming your brain, you're programming, if you're right-handed, left-handed, your mouse finger, and you're programming it to react in milliseconds. In milliseconds, not even a second, quicker than a second, you're programming your brain to react. And if you get to 500 to 10,000, trust me, you can surpass me in this, okay? Because once you train your brain to know that, and you're starting to watch a candlestick, you're going to know when to get in, you're going to know when to get out. So this question will be obsolete by the end of the time you hit that $10,000 margin in your mock account. Okay, let's see what we had next. Okay, I wrote down here, start mock trading always first until you have the natural instincts to know how to react instantly to the market's actions. My explanation on this is I did mock trading over and over until my hands were reacting to the active trade in front of my eyes. And I was no longer stumbling around trying to find out where to put my mouse and hesitating on what the right move was in that very second, because you can lose a lot of money in a second. Repetition, repetition, wax on, wax off. You are training your hands, your eyes, your brain to react instantly. No thought needed. You naturally react to the reaction in front of your eyes. This is the gift I guess I have now, but I didn't get, nobody just gave it to me. I spent hours, some days 18, 19 hours a day, and I know a lot of you don't have them hours, but if you add them 18, 19 hours maybe in a week, and then 18, 19 hours next week, and 18 hours, 19 hours next week, or maybe 18, 19 hours in a month is all you can spare. It don't matter. Do it at your own pace, but trust me, when you get that count up to $10,000 in mock money scalping, you're gonna, you won't have fear. Number one, that's the biggest thing you can lose. I'll tell you what you won't have. You'll lose fear. You'll lose the thought of hesitation. You'll lose wondering, can I do this? Can't I do this? All these negative thoughts in your mind will be gone, and you'll be ready to scalp and make money. It's the wax on, wax off training you have to do over and over in mock trading before you come do scalping for real. That's my answer to that question number 2. Okay. Take a pause, I guess. Okay, we're going on to question number 3 next. Okay, everybody. Question number 3 is really not a question. This is pretty much what I'm writing out for you guys to, this is a checklist for you guys, I guess. This is my checklist to you all. Okay, here is a good example of starting the day watching 3 candlesticks. In this snapshot, you will see, I'm going to put in a waking up. I illustrated 9:09 a.m. I'm just waking up. Step 2, I'm going to put a start watching, because in the period of time I'm waking up to the time I'm start watching, there's going to be candlesticks because I got other things to do. Okay, now I start watching. I am watching 3 candlesticks. I have already drawn my resistance and my support line. I have the 2 red lines in the middle of the chart. In the chart, the 2 red lines is 0.31% from the top and down to the bottom. Okay, this step I'm going to be eliminating, guys. I wrote this, I guess, a while back. I'm starting to use a tool, and I'll show you that. Well, this step, I'm going to show you a shortcut. You don't have to actually draw out the 3%. You do still put in your support and your resistance line. I'm going to show you how to figure out your 0.31%, and that way you don't have to draw it in. You have to keep going back. It's going to go all the way across your whole chart for the day, and I'm going to show you how to do that shortcut to this step. And then the measurement of 0.77 from the resistance to support of the floor equaling 0.77. Okay, what I'm saying is a minimum of what I'm going to have my channel is, unless the channel is having these massive candlesticks, and if it's doing that, you don't need support and resistance. You need to be riding them up long all day. You're in a big trade. The market's jumping thousands if you're seeing big candlesticks. And that day, it's not a scalping day, and that day it's different. So anyway, 0.77%. And I have labeled first and second and third candlestick. Nothing to do but start watching. Now I wrote this a month ago. I am using different tools to save me a lot of this work. And as always, I will be glad to show you all. Okay, so what I'm saying is every day I grow and I learn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to another screen for you guys. And as I'm learning perfection and ways, shortcuts to do this, I'm going to share them, of course, with you all. All right, everybody, finalize this little video we're doing for you, I'm going to come in as if, which I am. I'm totally cold. I don't know nothing going on in the market. I've had no time to look at it today. We've been working on a video, so I don't know what's going on. So here it is. We're going to go on my trade and we'll show you what to do. First off, you see this yellow line across here. You know you're in mock trading. I don't know. Oh, it says right here in blue. Okay, actually, well, that might help too if you read it over here. to the right of Phoenix up there, it actually says mock trading. Look at that. Okay, so cool. We're in the mock trading. This is where you want to take my videos that me and Bill are giving you right now and take everything we're showing you and start applying it here. Okay, I have my screen open on mock trading. First step number one I want you to do before you even look at a candlestick, you even do anything. We're going to look at this little bar right here. I'm circling with my mouse. See up here my toolbar? We're going to bring this down here to the middle screen so nobody can misunderstand what I'm saying. Okay, what I like you to do. Now there's a reason for each tool in each order for me. I'm autistic. If you look in my room, I have everything, even my messed up pile, this but baskets got messed up things. Everything is still in a perfect order, and for me, everything has to stay in a perfect order. So I put everything, categorized it in the way I use, and the tool I use the most, which is texting. I use it a lot, and I want you to do is go ahead, open your mock trading, go to your toolbar over here on your left. Okay, so you're going to see texting. Okay, so what you do on your screen is you're going to go to texting, you're going to open texting, you're going to go to the star and see I got the stars, gold stars on every tool. So every tool, okay, since you have texting open right now, just click texting. Do not click price channel at this time, okay? Because you're going to, price channel is important, but not at this time. So just click texting, and then you should have now on your screen this little 6 dots there, and probably just the one box, just the other side of my dotted line here. Nothing to the right should be there yet. Okay, so now you have texting. Unless you're already using all these tools and you have it in the way you want, then keep it the way you got it. I do it in the order that I use the tools repeatedly. So then I got my texting. Then next you want to go and get your arrow. Okay, the arrows are going to be under this here paintbrush one. So I put the arrow next, of course, for me. Then I came out with a price ranging tool. Then I went back to this one and I took the brushing and I put in the brushing. Okay, point being, you got the idea, the gist of it. Okay, well, I use text. I use my arrow marker. I use my price range tool. I use my brush. I use my horizontal ray. I use my trend lines. This parallel channel is the one I was telling you is going to save you from having to put in that 0.31 and measure from top to bottom. I started using this. It saves you a whole lot of time. So I'll
Thank you, John Larson.
Huh?
Thank you, John Larson.
Yes, thank you, John Larson. Oh, that dude made me a bunch. You know, dude, that dude, I got to think that I got to meet that dude. That dude made me some money the next day. Let me tell you.
Me too.
Woo, he made me some real money after watching it. Yeah. Okay, so then we got the price channel. And anyway, John, what's his name?
Larson.
John Larson, thank you. Appreciate it was so, woke me up to turn on so many light bulbs for me. Thank you so much. Okay, parallel channel. Then I use my mark up and my mark down arrows. There's 4. You can go left and right arrows. I don't seem to use. I had them up on there one time. I never used them, so I took them off. Up and down arrows when you need to make notes and things that are very important. This one now, I love this one. This one I just started using. This is a price label. I'll show you how to use it, why I'm using it. I like to know where my major resistance are. And so I go up and I go up all my major resistance from the all-time high, every major resistance down to the bottom to 18,000. I have these now placed into my Phoenix page. I actually scroll all the way down and I go mark all the past major resistance and the major support level. I like to know, so I start using these. Then date and time price range. Okay, long and short. Y'all know your long and short position and how to use that tools yet. If you don't know how to use these tools, you need to go into Femex tools, and I'm sure Bill's got tools, videos in his help desk too. These are so important because the short position, long position tools I can use that when I'm going into a scalp, not a scalp, into a trade, I could decide how much is this trade really worth me investing in before I put a dollar in. I'm predicting where it's going to get in, where it's going to get out. And if it's going to say I'm going to make 7 to 1 on my dollar, that's a no-brainer. If you go in and you say you're going to make 1 to 1 on your dollar, you might want to just skip that and go back to scalping because that trade's not a good trade. So these tools are good tools too. Okay. Anyways, once you got your toolbar, I always put it right here. I don't know what all these numbers over here keep changing. That they just irritate me. I wish I could get rid of them because all they do is interfere with my thinking. But
They're the
you know,
candles. They tell you the open, the high, the low, the close of the candle of each candle.
oh, is that what this is?
Yeah, open,
Well,
high, low,
they're so
close.
small I couldn't read them anyways. So
I'll
anyways,
figure out how to take them off. I'll let you know.
okay, yeah, they irritate me because every time I move, being autistic, I focus in on the color. See the colors change.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to get an autistic person. I can make the joke because I'm autistic. You want to lead an autistic kid to jump off a cliff? Just hold something glittering like that. He'll fall. Oh, I gotta catch it, and you'll go right off the cliff. Okay, that's a good way to make me get off the cliff. Okay. So, anyways, I like the glitter and the colors, and they change color: red, green, red. Oh my god, it's like it drives me nuts. Anyways, okay, we're messing up a good video. Okay, guys, we got to add a little humor in here for you too. Okay, so here we are on a training page. Back to mock trading, we're training. Okay, we're going to show you. And you can leave all that in there, Bill. I don't care. It's all good. Okay, you got the page set up. You got your toolbars ready. Now, we're coming in cold. We have nothing going on. Most of the time, when you first come into a cold page, if you don't have it expanded, like I keep mine expanded permanently, you're probably going to see something more like this, right? So if you're coming in cold first time on a page, you never done it, act like you're brand new. You say, oh my God, what? Okay, I cannot trade looking at that mess. I'm autistic. So I have to have everything in a perfect order. Every single thing, candlestick has to be in a perfect line for me. So what do? I take it, I roll my finger on my mouth. I keep rolling it out. Upward direction, keeps rolling it out like you're rolling out a loaf of bread, you know, the dough. You roll it out, you roll it out, you roll. Okay, now this I can deal with. Okay, now I can't really, you see these little things here, these little lines with nothing in it, those are the cow patties I talk to you about. Those are the ones you know it's time to get out. You say, well, how do you know to get out? Trust me, if you land on these little cow patties I just circled, if you end up on one of those for 15 minutes, you don't need no sign to get out. If you need a sign to tell you to get out with that cow patty size, trust me, do not trade crypto. Don't trade anything. Get out because you're going to lose money at whatever you do. This is a big neon sign telling you get out. Okay, so I got it. I'm coming in cold. I stretched my screen out to where. Oh, let me get rid of that. I'm sorry. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, that's gone. Let me go back. I forget when you use that tool, drawing tool. It's always there in Nightmare. Okay, what I do is I stretch my candles, okay? See, I stretch them like yay tall, okay? Now, I'm coming in cold, right? Now, I was telling you how I draw my lines, okay? Right now, you see this is automatically, I label this a dead zone. I know there's no money here right now, okay? So, but I come in, I grab my horizontal line. I'm going to take my horizontal line right off the top of this candle wick here, right? And I shoot it out there, okay? Then what I do is I go to my tool. And now why I did, if you're in the beginning and you're doing this like I did a month ago and you're just learning, you need to learn the words correctly. Because I was calling one thing, the class was calling another thing, and I was finding a lot of conflict. And I was like, So now I said, no, I'm going to use the words the class say. So then I go to text. I go up here. I type in RESISTANC there. And then I put that right up there. Look, I'm using resistance. I was calling ceiling and floor. And then he was changing from ceiling to floor on me to resistance and support, and that totally set me off. I have to have everything balanced. So I start doing it on what it's called in the crypto trading, I guess, or whatever you call it. Okay, so then now I see my other wicks are over here, okay? Now I'm going to go right off the bottom. I'm going to go back up to my horizontal tool, snap on that. I'm going to go right over here. I'm going to get you see my dotted line comes right up to the bottom of that wick. Okay, I want to touch just the wick where it just touched it and just a little into it, and then shoot the horizon line across. Then I'm going to go back up to text here now. And because if you're new in this, you want to train your brain to know resistance support, resistance support. You want to be able to determine you want your brain to know what resistance and support is. You want to know when you're hitting resistance. You want to know when you're falling below your support. You want this in your brain. You want to be able to think it. You want your brain to be able to calculate what's coming next in your scalp. So that's why I type all this out. S-U-P-P-O-R-T. Support. Boom. Okay, now I've got my resistance. I got my support. This is something I do all the time. Oh, okay, I forgot. Okay, we came in cold. Okay, so I did miss one step. Okay, say I woke up right here. Say, this is what I do all the time. I forgot a step. Okay, I come in, I put this in here first. We missed that. I always come in and say, W/U. This is my wake up. Why do I put my wake up? Why is it important for me to put wake up? For me, because I want to know where I put my eyes focused on the screen at the very second I woke up. Now what I do is, okay, this is where I woke up. Now I want to go back here and see. I come over here and say this over here is where I went to bed. Okay, so say I went to bed here, then what I want to know everything that happened between point A and point B. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I draw it all out, my wake up point. Okay, now we're going to say we're here. This is where we start watching, okay? We're going to come here, draw my arrow here. I'm going to go to my text. I always put it in here. This is just so I know when I come back to study what happened in my procedure, if it's a winning day or a losing day, okay? If it's going to be a winning day or losing day, you don't know if you're going to make money or lose money today. The reason I do the wake up and then I start watching is because I know right there is where I either learned and did good decisions, or I need to learn more because I made bad decisions for the day. So now in this perimeter, I'm going to trade for the day. I'm looking at it. I say, okay, I got my resistance. I got my support. I go up here. Y'all see this tool right here, the price range tool. You come down here, grab your price range tool, get dead center of that little red line, and you put it in there. And I shake a lot, so it's hard for me to get it. Oh, I lost it. See, I'm sorry. I shake a lot, so let me do it again with you guys. Here we go. Go back down. We'll get over there. So, all right. Oh, that's close enough. That's close enough. It's not exactly accurate, but you know what to do. Because of my saying, I gotta have a time. Okay, so now, right now, what am I doing with? From candle wick to candle wick, my candle wick of resistance to my lowest candle wick of my present support in my first hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so my first 2 hours, there's 2 hours of wick there. But you wouldn't have those 2 hours there by that time. You probably, if you start watching here, you're going to watch these 3 candlesticks, right? So my support would be up higher because my line was, anyways, okay, it's been shorter. But here I am with this. Now, I know I want 0.31 or larger candle sticks to make any good scalping day. I'm looking at, if you're looking at right now, look over here. I'm going to circle it for y'all. You see, you got a 0.42%. Is the largest, is what your channel measures. And then you look at all your sticks in there. So you go back to the question that was most commonly asked, when to get in and when to get out. Look at the board. The board's going to tell you. I can't tell you what's going to go on at the moment you're looking because I'm not there. But you, using your own eyes and your own vision and doing this charting, setting up your resistance, setting up your support, setting up your wake up point, your start watching point. You start watching here. Your next 3 candlesticks are crap. They're no good. So you know right there. Nobody's got to tell you this is not the time to jump in. You don't want to jump in. Why? Because there's nothing there. It's common sense is going to tell you that. Now, another thing I can do. Okay, we got 0.40, 0. So this is a short channel. So I'm going to do here as an illustration for you guys because you need to understand what to do if you got a bigger channel. Okay, let me see if I can get rid of this. Hold on. We can get rid of this. Delete that. Okay, let's delete that. Delete. Okay, we're going to delete that and delete that. Okay, say we start watching here. Okay, let's say we're going to say we start watching on this red one over here. Okay, we're going to say we start watching here and move these candle wicks back a little bit, and we're going to just imagine we're going to change all this around, and we're going to say here, and we're going to go here. Okay, and we're going to move this back one candlestick. Okay, so now we're going to change the board, even though we all know it's not the way it was. It don't matter. This is just for class. Okay, so here I'm going to try to get this. I'm sorry, guys. Everything's not working now. Okay, everything's going where it wants to go. Okay, here we go. We're back. Okay, so okay, I'm going to change this because I want to show you the thing I was telling you all about, setting the lines to know if a candlestick's coming off your resistance or if it's coming off your support. You want to know where 0.31% is. Okay, so I'm coming in here. Okay, oh, this is a good one. We're going to put our candlestick here. We're coming at this candlestick's almost formed by the time we come in. Say it is okay, it's 1:30, so it is 1:29 in the afternoon at PM, and you're coming in at 1:29. There's 1 minute more on the candlestick. So this one's almost done for the 15 minutes. You know the new wick's coming out, right? So you come in the same thing. You shoot your horizon line across, correct? Now you come in, you got your, oh, one thing I like to do, if it's at the end of an hour, you want to know what the present stick is. So I would come in with the price range tool. First thing, before I even drew my horizontal, my resistance support line, I would automatically take a measure. See, it's 1 minute out. So I know this is a pretty good candlestick. So I would go measure, oh, I just missed out on 0.49%. And in the beginning, I said, oh my God, I just lost money. I could have made money on that candlestick. And Nico calmed me down and told me, don't sweat it, TJ. There's going to be another trade and another trade and another trade. This is unending. This is a never-ending story of trading. So you don't have to sweat. Don't sweat what just happened. And especially because of the reaction of the market next. See, if you say, oh, this is a good one, I'm jumping in automatically. Right here at this point, you say, oh, I'm jumping in right now. No. Why would you not want to jump in automatically after seeing this good candlestick and this candlestick? Because look at everything behind it. Look at all, well, I tell you, go back and study what happened from the time you went to bedtime. You got to look. There's been nothing all night. The best candlestick you got is not even, well, this one's probably a half a point, and this one's one tenth of a 1/100th of a, anyways, there's less than a half a point, 0.49%. Okay, so you got 2 candlesticks here. They look nice. Okay, I'm just start watching. I'm coming in. Here comes the first wick. It's red. Okay. This is in my way. I'm sorry, I gotta get rid of it. Okay, so this is in my way. So now I come up. I have my new resistance. I just drew my resistance. Okay, I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to grab my horizontal line, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to say there's a half a point, and there's a little wick there. So I'm going to come to the side, just outside of that wick, and I'm going to shoot my horizontal line over. Now, we know we're probably right at about, since that's a 49, we already measured the candlestick, so we know it's going to be right about a half a percent, but I still like to know what it is. So in the beginning, this is what I did all the time. I skip a lot of these steps now because I just know I can pretty much eyeball now. So that's a little long. So we'll go back. Oh, hold on a second. All right, right there. Like I said, it ended up being a 6. Now this is what is the 0.60% at this point of the game. At this point of the game, the 0.60 is the measurement of my price channel, okay, that I'm in. Now, so I know I'm at a 0.60%. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab the parallel. This is where I skipped. I was telling you how to draw in 0.31, 0.31. You know, I don't do it no more. I just make sure my channel is at least, now I make sure my channel is 0.62% always, minimum. If I got bigger sticks, my channel goes wider. I let it go up. It goes up to 1. I love to see a channel 1.5% channel, because that's good money channel there. All the candlesticks are making you money, so there's not a lot of thinking there. But when you're fighting for every penny, you want your price channel so you know what's going on. Okay, then I got that. Then I come over to my parallel channel tools. Now I'm going to take my parallel channels tool from where I start watching, and I'm going to drag it straight down the line as far as it will let me go for the day. So for the next few hours, see, now I'm right on the line. Snap the button again. Now you just drag it down to this line, and then you come back up and you get dead center. Oh shit, that's close enough. Okay, now I'm dead center. Okay, now I have already measured my first candlestick was 0.49. And then my channel I drew out with my resistance and my support came out at 0.60%. So that dotted line going across the middle is automatically telling you that's 0.30. Technically, you can get in there. Okay, if you're a fast, good scalper, I would say get in there. But if you're a beginner, I would not get in there. You want to get something that's going to go past, either up above this center line or down below the center line, and you want 3 of them before you get into scalp. This is a good thing to see, okay, because this would have told me. Then you see, now we were playing this as we never knew what none of these candlesticks were. Now you see this here changed. It fell out of your channel before your price channel got to get started. You fell out. You came down here. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Where's that one? Let's get rid of this one. Okay, so now we came down and we fell out of my beginning of my price channel. This happens to me all the time. I sweat nothing. So what I do, I go up to my horizon tool and I see, okay, so then I take my horizon tool, I come down here, and my first stick's gonna be here, right? So I like doing is, oh, hold on, I forgot a step. What I like doing is, okay, my next candlestick measure that fell out of the channel, 0.24%, okay? That's from wick to bottom of the candlestick, 0.24. So then what I want to do is take my price range tool already. I'm out of my present channel. So I want to go down. Oh, my bad. Oh, I'm losing it. Hold on. I get the shake sometimes, so I'm sorry about that, guys. Okay, I go back to my price range tool. Okay. Okay, I know this is measuring at 0.24. So I'm going to take my tool and I'm going to measure down 0.24 more. And I always, if my channel changes, whatever the measurement of that candlestick is, when I jumped out of my channel, I always go down and measure that exact measurement of that candlestick. Then I come back over to my horizon tool, and what do? I take it and put it right there. Now I know that candlestick's 0.24. Now my support has moved from this line up here to here, adding 0.24. This can come down. You can move that down. I generally leave all my lines for this exact reason. I predict this is jumping down, 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 but I think it's going to come back up into my original channel of the day. That's generally what happens when you're running a dead zone day, a call fishing zone day. It seems to jump into these little channels of 0.24 to 0.50 maybe. But the candlesticks that are filling these 2 channels, and sometimes it goes 3, but in the persistence of going up and getting in and out of and creating a 3rd channel, the candlesticks are usually very small on a dead zone day. On a money day, you don't have to worry about all this, but on a day trying to find when to get in and when to get out, you need to know. So here you're seeing, this is, that you just added this channel here, right? But in the beginning, it's always good to go up here, even though you just added, you know what the numbers are, just get you a figure. A good step to do, you got 0.33%, correct? So then what I like doing is going up here to my text tool. I go here and go type 0.33 and a space and then put the percent line. And I always make sure this is down here at 10. So 10 because it's the smallest. And you can take your 0.33% here and you can just drag it right there to your red line. So it just gives you a reference to let you know that this channel is 0.33%. And I should have done that already. I'm sorry. I missed that step here. I'll go do it right now. I got 0.60 space. I believe that's what it was at that time.
Yes.
And I make sure it's on 10. And so I always mark my channels with the percentages so I know what my channel is I'm working within. So if I see that here 0.60, I always should have had that in the very first step. I missed that step. Sorry, guys. Always put your percentage in. Why? Because your next step, before your next candlestick forms, you already know what your channel is. You got your dotted line down the center of the screen. So you know you're dealing with, if your candlestick's coming from the top, you know you hit the dotted line, you're at 0.30. You're at least 0.3% point. See, this is so you can start training your brain, number one, to know now I can pretty much judge what this is without doing all the lines. I can because I drag my candle, I do my drawing in the morning, and the rest of the day I know if I'm in or out by what I've just set up for you. So this is a very important step. You want to do this on mock trading. It's come in and do this. Take this video we're making for you. You can replay it. You can back it up in the video. This is what I did. Man, I think I was the only one asking questions my first week. Well, ever since I've been in, I think I'm the only guy asking so many questions. I figured I paid my money for this. I want my money to work. I got questions. I'm going to ask it. So the only dumb question asked is the one that's not asked, guys. Okay? So any question you want to ask me, just ask me. I'll help you. I'll tell you. But when you come in, this is exactly what you want to do. You want to back it up, do it again, back it up, do it again until you know exactly how to do this. This is what you want to do. You want to start watching. You want to set up. You want to wake up. Always put a wake up arrow in. And for me, I usually make the arrows different colors. My wake up arrow, I make different color. My start watching, I make a different color. Because that way my brain knows the color is what's what, and I don't have to go read the little print of what it was for myself when I'm going back and trying to do a quick study of what happened in the last 24 hours. I want to be able to scan through, okay, and I drag it, and I actually drag the candles like this, and I go down. My brain can do that, and I can draw them in a straight line, and I go down and study. That's for myself. This tool, I think, system of doing it exactly this every day. Open a scalp trade, do this, do that, and do this. Follow these 5, 6 steps here will get you in the frame of mind to be able to start studying and paying attention to candlesticks. Now, say we did this, we dropped down here, now we went into cow patties. After seeing 4 cow patties like that, you already know what you're at. I'm coming down here, I'm grabbing my text here, then I'm coming here, and I go to capital letters, and I put a D space, / space, and a Z. That's my dead zone. Now I'm taking my D zone, and now I'm putting it about the middle here. And then up here, you see that where you can delete it or what's still up here. I changed that. Now I'll go up here, maybe put 14. Okay, I don't want even 14. I want to go 16 because I know there's nothing happening. Now I've labeled that as my dead zone. You see, who my support outside there. You see, that's a dead zone. Now, hour, say 45 minutes go by, it's dead zone. Now, an hour and a half went by. I dragged my DZ down there. I dragging my 0.33% down. I dragged it down all day long, and because you know there's nothing there. You're waiting for something to change. So I'm dragging it out. And it's always good to know where your daily resistance started. And so I always drag all my percentage marks down with me during the day. So I know I started with 0.60% candlestick. And right now I'm working with a 0.3% price channel, meaning the candlesticks and wicks inside the 0.3 ain't even going to measure anything you could do or make money on. So this is the time you sit on your hands and you don't trade. Now, knowing exactly what I just showed you in this video, seeing with your own eyes what you're seeing, your brain should know now, when you see this, this is what Nico talks about, don't do nothing. And TeeJay can back it up. In the small range where I do the scalping, it's definitely a no scalping day. Now, you'll see a lot more money making in the scalping where I do scalping than in Nico's type of trading, because Nico shows you buying here and put your take profit here, which I'm starting to learn now. I'm starting to understand, oh, there's money in that too, because I did a huge money trade. We started 1,000, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 12,000. Okay, so we're past that now. We're doing bigger trades than that now, but it all had to start somewhere. And it started just doing this routine here, guys, and learning to know this here is more important for you to know that this is a dead zone. Why? Because you're not going to waste a penny all day. So this is making you money right here by learning to do this procedure. You're going to make money by doing this. Why? Because you're not wasting money. And then, man, when you hit one of the days like I show you scalping, my birthday, was a great day. I can show you that, I guess, next real quick. This is today. This is October 8th. My birthday, October 8th. So I started watching here though. You see, this was I guess this was the day I had the 3 zammers. And okay. By throwing your lines and your perimeters and your resistance and your support, which I obviously didn't have here because I was so excited as if I didn't draw it out. Which for me was a day because I saw these 3 things here. You ask, when should you get in and when should you get out? When you see scenarios like these here, you want to think about getting in. Because if you go look on my next ones, okay, I really was excited and I jumped, started watching, and I'm already all excited. I got in. I made 3 great trades. Now, my friends called me, will be there in 10 minutes, and I knew I had to go, okay? But point being was, if you go back to the first video here, when you see these 3, when I saw these, how excited I got that day, and the only reason I got there was because I'd done a lot of studying. So I'm passing you on the wisdom I got. My grandpa said something to me when I was a little kid. He said, if somebody older than you got something to say to you, and they're 50, 60 years older than you, listen. Close your mouth, listen. Take that sand, that wisdom, we call them sand. Take that little piece of sand they're going to give you, that little wisdom, put them in your pouch. And he says, you're going to become a wise old man long before your time. So I'm going to pass you on a little grain of sand today to you, and that is, this is a big thing. When you see something like these stars like that back to back, watch out, money's coming. And it did. It came all day long that day. And here I had to go out for the day, and I went out because I had to go to Red Lobster. Friends took me for Red Lobster for lunch. But you see, back when I saw the 3 candlesticks, you see how I predicted it was going to be a good day. And you watch here, you see nothing but good trades. So you say, how, TeeJay, can you tell me that those were going to tell you at that point of the day? Because from the day one when I signed up my Phoenix account, I've been doing this, just crossing my arms and studying and watching the sticks. And I say, hey, wait a minute. My brain says, oh, see, my brain sees things like a TV. I look at it, and you see a TV screen, you got a remote to turn it on and off. My brain doesn't. My brain breaks it down to the minute dialoid that's in there. And most of you don't even know what a dialoid is, But in my brain now, it sees the dialoid, but then it can take it all in front of me and 3D, take it apart, put it back together, and I know exactly what's wrong with the TV if it needs fixing. Okay, my brain does that with its market for some reason. I love it. It's like the ultimate puzzle because it's a never ending puzzle. It keeps progressing and changing. If it doesn't keep progressing and changing, Phoenix can't keep making money. And they've got all kinds of people out there to write this software and do all this stuff out there in the world. So my job for me to stay ahead of the game is to keep up with turns and changes in the market. Like Nico says, it is a trend until it's not a trend. And so I'm watching things like these 3 stars over here. It's repeated. I knew something good was coming. I said, oh man, I got to get in there. That's going to be good. I don't know if I don't have the whole page. I was going to show you. I don't, apparently that only went to 415. But on that day, on October 8th, I think I was still scalping at midnight that night
Right
because
on. Happy birthday.
yeah, it was like the most perfect birthday gift. And the money was just nonstop flowing in. I think at 1:45, 1 o'clock, I mean 1:45 to 2 o'clock, somewhere in the morning, I finally went into a dead zone. And I said, oh, I'm getting out of that, you know. But then I stopped, took a breath. And the most important thing you can do while doing this, and you're making money doing this, is when you get flatline, and I'm going to say it, cow patty, a shit patty, a cow patty ain't worth shit. Get out. Why? Because you're going to lose all this money I just made all day here. I can lose by getting stubborn and saying, oh, it's going to change. It's not going to change. The candlesticks are telling you what's coming. And they're going to predict the next 45 minutes. They're going to predict the next hour. On scalping, for me, it does. Now, I'm learning to see it more to where I can actually tell you when they're breaking out of a dead zone now. Now, I've got a bunch of, we'll do another video on that, on just my predictions.
Right
But
on.
I can actually tell you with other candlesticks when it's going to break out, and I can show you how those candlesticks can teach you to know dead zone. I got the next 8 hours, 10 hours, go do what I want. Be back here in 9.5 hours and watch. It's going to break out of the channel. And I'll show you where I predicted it and where it just breaks right out, right between the lines I'm drawing, and boom, boom, boom. So hopefully I can pass a lot more knowledge on to you all, and hope this is the video turns on a lot of light bulbs for you all. Thanks for letting me share.
I appreciate you being here with us, TJ. I learned a lot today. I can't wait to go play Renegades. If you have questions, I definitely need you to come to us in the help desk and ask your questions there. Please don't beat up TJ's DMs. That's not nice. Thank you
Yeah,
again, TJ.
I got over 300 questions, but
Yeah, nice.
I try to answer you guys, but you guys, I got a lot on my plate here too, so some I can't answer. I try if
Yeah,
I
please
can.
come to the help desk, guys, and we'll figure it out together. All right.
Okay.
All right. TJ, we love you. And I will see you later, my friend.
Be blessed, brother.